The ML Sports Platter is back with you, brought to you by CH Insurance, in your corner every day, every way. Make sure you bundle the home and auto with chinsurance.cc. We bring in one of my favorites. I've had him for years. You know, it's March. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Gotta love it, man. Clark Kellogg, CBS Sports. Had you on radio and podcast forever, audio only. Now we get you on the big screen here as well. You're doing awesome work as always, and I'm so grateful to have you on the program, man. Welcome in.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Always good to hang out with you in this time of year. Never gets old. It's always exciting, and we're looking forward to the next several weeks watching the Festival of Hoops that is March Madness.
No doubt. Adrian Autry, I mean, as we record this, he's got Syracuse right there. At least you win against Clemson, you maybe win one in the ACC. They might be squarely on the bubble on a Sunday, which, by the way, don't worry. Syracuse fans are very used to the bubble on Selection Sunday. Give me your assessment. I mean, this is transition, Boeheim, man and zone, keeping players, your culture, your voice. It's
a lot.
It's a lot, and it's what you can ask for right this time for them to be right here.
No question. In position to be in position, as John Rothstein, our colleague at CBS, likes to say. And Adrian's done a phenomenal job, him and his staff. 4 wins in a row, 5 of the last 6. That's the way you want to be playing at this time of year. Another opportunity to get a significant win at Clemson. Just an impressive job. You step into that seat that's only a few inches away from being an assistant, and it changes things dramatically and significantly. And I don't know if people really understand. You go from being a sounding board and having some level of input. And in some cases, assistants have a ton of input. And I think Adrian probably did in his role. But nonetheless, once you change to the CEO, now you've got everything that ultimately rests with you. And he's well prepared and doing a great job. So it's great to see a new wave of young coaches out there. And he's part of that next wave of guys that hopefully will be around for a long time and be successful in their new spots.
It is funny, though, Clark, when I go to the Dome and work these games, I still look over and I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. The guy, 47 years, it is over. You look over, you still got to get used to it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure it's an adjustment, but time and change is inevitable, and it's the cycle of life. And, obviously I can understand that shadow will be there for a long time, but Adrian and his crew are kind of making their own way as well. So that's part of what we like to see, transition that's successful.
Yeah, it sure is. And I just had Red on about a month ago, and I love those guys. I love, Jerry McNamara and Alan Griffin and Adrian as well. Clark, as you know, the word culture, it gets thrown around so much in sports, especially because the NFL is number one. It's always thrown around. It's always used. But for you, from where you sit, what does culture mean in college basketball?
Well, I think you can actually take it out of college basketball and look at it in any particular organization or institution. It's a clear vision and understanding of who you are and what you're about from a core value standpoint. This is who we are. This is how we do what work it is that we're called to do. These are the kind of people that are going to make up our team. And that's going to permeate everything that we engage in. And it's hard to establish it. I mean, it's difficult because you've got to get different individual agendas tied to a common mission. People have egos and dreams and hopes, and sometimes those aren't all in alignment. So how do you get a group to be in alignment on the core values that you want to espouse? And in basketball, obviously, the landscape is changing, Mike, with NIL and the transfer portal. So being able to establish how you're going to go about building and retaining rosters, I think harkens back to who are we? What kind of players do we need to get? How are we going to get them? How are we going to keep them? And then how are we going to develop them? That, to me, is all about culture. It's really people development for a common goal and mission, and having some pillars that you are that are non-negotiable in how you go about doing what you do.
CBS Sports college basketball analyst Clark Kellogg with us here on the ML Sports Platter. You can get him all the time during the coverage of CBS during all the madness this March, and it's brought to you by our good friends at CH Insurance, always in your corner every day, every way. Give me a Final Four that would give us the most of everything,
Oh, wow.
every superlative, every action, every player, matchup. Give me like I guess maybe your dream Final Four is what it would be, right?
I never have a dream one, quite honestly. This
Okay,
year, though,
I'll give you one. St. Bonaventure, Syracuse. No, you know me. Come on.
Yeah. I know you're up there in New York, but I would love to see Matt Painter and the Purdue Boilermakers get to Phoenix. I think it would be a great story. I mean, I've been around Matt and his team, his program. They've had some tough tournament luck in the last several years. Really good teams, conference championship teams, and yet haven't quite gotten it done. In March, had that one run to the Elite Eight and lost a heartbreaker to Virginia back in 19. But I would love to see them, if I was a fan solely, I would love to see them be part of it. And then after that, I'm open. I just like whatever unfolds. I mean, UConn having a chance to repeat. I always like to see teams that have won it, if they've got the material to get back for a chance, because that's so rare that it happens when you get back-to-back champions. So UConn would be part of it if you gave me a dream scenario. Then the other two, pick them, pick whoever it might be, because storylines are going to unfold regardless. We know that. It's unpredictable. Yeah. Those two teams, if I were picking in, and obviously I would love to see my alma mater make a crazy run and find a way, but that's a reach. But those two teams, if I could pick two of the four that I'd like to see be there, it would be those two.
What's next for the court storming situation in college basketball?
I think we shut it down, Mike. I think we amp up security. We make it clear that it's not going to be tolerated in any form or fashion. It's just too dangerous. The risk is far greater than the fun of the experience for everybody involved. Those students that want to enjoy getting out on the court, the players, the coaches, the officials. So I think you ramp it up. There are only select games where you know that a win for the home team could precipitate a court storm. So let's amp up the security in those situations and make it clear that it's not, from the top down, from commissioners down, that this is not something we're going to embrace in college basketball. We're going to get rid of it. I just think one tragic incident would be horrible. And I think we have to err on the side of not allowing that to happen, which means shut it down.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement. I think dynasties overall in sports are good because you just mentioned UConn repeating, you have eyes on it, and it creates some hate from people in the fan base, but it also creates elite statuses and more conversation and generational stuff. Mm-hmm. I think it's good mostly. Do you think right now in college basketball, with the NIL transfer portal craziness that this world has become, Clark, in this sport, do you think it's easier or harder to build a dynasty? And somebody might think that I'm asking this question and it's a stupid one, but the reason I'm asking it is because you might lose guys and say, well, duh, it's harder. Obviously, anybody can go anywhere. But hang on now. What happens if you get a Dalton Connect? What happens if you get two of those guys and one guy can make that difference? And all of a sudden you have an Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist situation or something in the 90s with Kentucky. I don't know, Clark. I see it both ways.
I agree with you. I mean, again, it does give you a chance to get better quicker when you can actually fortify your roster with transfers, proven guys. We're seeing that across the country in terms of teams having breakout years and really good years because of transfers. And basketball is a lot easier than football because of the fewer numbers of players. You just need usually one or two elite players to elevate you to championship contention. So I do think you can actually still do it. It remains to be seen if it will be done. But I'm with you. I'm not quite ready to say it's impossible because of all the movement. It's harder because there's a continuity component and a cohesiveness component that you lose a little bit when you don't have players with you for 2, 3, 4 years. And yet the flip side of that is what we just talked about, that you can get ready-made, high-level players that in a short period could come together and be a championship group.
I have a minute left with you. It's been like this all year for the Bonnies, man. We've been riding the alumni and I on the Facebook pages. We've been riding the roller coaster, sweeping VCU, and then, Fordham comes in and scores 1,000 points. This team brought everybody back. They added a couple of Central New York guys and Charles Pride and Mike Adams-Woods, who I know you really respect their games as well. And you know the job Mark Schmidt's done. He just won his 300th game. Yeah, but come on, tell me at the end here, because it's been a roller coaster for as down as we've been. They got to go win the A-10 tournament, right? That would just be so perfect for this year. It would be so typical of the bodies, right?
It would be apropos, based on how things have unfolded to this point. And I tell you, those 4 teams at the top of that league are pretty good. They're all pretty good. So it's a shame that probably just 2 of those teams get to the tournament. And so, the Bonnies are in the situation many teams are that have kind of been like that. You still have the one opportunity to catch lightning in a bottle in the conference tournament. And that's part of what makes the madness that it is in March.
Yeah, no doubt. That job Mark Schmidt's done has been incredible, huh?
Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah. And continuity, being there for a long time, that's always impressive when you can stay the course. And it's not the easiest job. And he's been remarkably successful and steady and consistent in who his teams have been, how they've played, the success they've had. I mean, in many ways, I would look at what he's done there and say that he's maxed it. I mean, he's optimized it, in my opinion, in terms of longevity, success, consistency. I mean, that's not easy to do, and it's a credit to him and his staff and those players that he's had over the years.
Yeah, special coach at a special place. There's no doubt about that. The fit was perfect.
Yeah,
Clark Kellogg, love it, man. Really appreciate the time through the years and grateful for this one as well. The CBS Sports college basketball analyst joining us here on the ML Sports Platter, brought to you by CH Insurance, always in your corner every day, every way. Hey, look forward to all the madness. Look forward to you on the big screen every time. Thank you again, and take care of yourself, all right?
Yeah, you do the same, Mike. Always great to visit with you, and let the madness unfold. We're here.